Level 0. Micrometeoroid impact. These are the tiniest pieces of space debris, particles that are the size of dust and are frequently insignificant compared to a single grain of sand. Every single day, the planet Earth is subjected to a bombardment of more than 100 tons of micrometeoroids. Their combustion occurs at a high altitude in the sky, and they never make it down to the ground. The fact that they travel at speeds of up to 40,000 kilometers per hour, which are potential of causing damage to sensitive equipment while in orbit, makes them a small issue for spacecraft and satellites, despite the fact that they do not represent any threat to life on Earth. On the other hand, human beings on Earth are absolutely unaffected by Level 0 hits because they are completely harmless. Level 1. Fireball or shooting star. Slightly larger than micrometeoroids, these objects are roughly the size of a pebble or golf ball. When they enter Earth's atmosphere, they vaporize from the intense friction, creating a brief, bright streak across the sky, what we call a shooting star. These events are purely atmospheric and rarely result in any physical material reaching the surface. They are common and beautiful to witness, but entirely safe. Level 1 asteroid impacts happen daily around the globe and serve more as a natural fireworks display than a threat. Level 2. Small airburst impact. The size of asteroids at this level can range anywhere from that of a basketball to that of a small automobile. In the moment when they enter the atmosphere, they are subjected to an enormous amount of pressure and heat, which causes them to explode in the air before they touch down on the ground. This phenomenon is referred to as bolides, or airbursts. The Chelyabinsk event, which took place in 2013, is a well-known example. During this event, a 20-meter asteroid detonated above Russia with a force of between 400 and 500 kilotons of TNT, which is approximately 30 times more energy than the Hiroshima bomb. The shockwave caused more than 1,500 people to get injuries and smashed windows. In spite of the fact that Level 2 hits very seldom result in fatalities, they are nevertheless capable of causing localized damage and injury, particularly if they ignite in close proximity to populated areas. Level 3. Surface impact, small meteorite. These are larger space rocks, usually 1 to 10 meters in diameter, that survive atmospheric entry and strike the ground. When a Level 3 asteroid impacts the surface, it creates a crater, throws debris into the air, and causes a shockwave that can damage buildings nearby. While still considered small, impacts at this level have occurred throughout history and can be dangerous if they hit urban areas. Fortunately, most of these land in oceans or remote regions. An example is the Carancas meteorite in Peru, 2007, which left a crater and reportedly caused minor illness in locals from released gases or contaminants. Level 4. Regional explosion or tsunami trigger. Astronomical objects of a diameter ranging from 30 to 100 meters are responsible for Level 4 impacts. Upon impact with the ground, they have the potential to obliterate large towns or even small cities. When they collide with the water, they have the potential to cause tsunamis that can wreak havoc on coastal areas. One of the hypothetical scenarios that is frequently mentioned is the city killer asteroid, which has a width of approximately 50 to 60 meters and would produce devastation that is comparable to that of several nuclear bombs. Approximately once every few hundred years, these asteroids cause collisions with Earth. In 1908, the Tunguska event is thought to have been an airburst that measured between 50 and 60 meters in height and was responsible for the destruction of nearly 2,000 square kilometers of Siberian forest. This explosion is equivalent to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT. Thank goodness there was no one living in the immediate vicinity. The kind of destruction that would have occurred if it had struck a metropolis is incomprehensible. Level 5. Multi-city destruction. At this level, we're dealing with asteroids 100 to 300 meters wide. These space rocks can release up to hundreds of megatons of energy. A direct hit could wipe out multiple cities, destroy infrastructure across hundreds of kilometers, and send ash and debris into the atmosphere, affecting climate in the region. One such object is the near-Earth asteroid Apophis, which is about 370 meters in size. While it's no longer expected to impact Earth in 2029, if it did, it could cause widespread devastation. Impacts at this level are rare, occurring once every 10,000 years or more, but they're large enough to trigger global awareness and planetary defense strategies. Level 6. Countrywide Catastrophe. Level 6 impacts involve asteroids 500 meters to 1 kilometer in diameter. These would have an explosive force of over a gigaton of TNT, far beyond the power of all nuclear weapons on Earth combined. If such an asteroid struck land, it would likely annihilate everything within a radius of hundreds of kilometers, killing millions and severely disrupting an entire nation's economy, infrastructure, and agriculture. If it hit the ocean, global tsunamis could devastate coastal cities on multiple continents. These events are exceedingly rare, perhaps once every hundreds of thousands of years, but they are severe enough to require global coordination for impact prevention. Level 7. Global climate disruption. Impacts of this magnitude are caused by asteroids with diameters ranging from 1 to 5 kilometers. A collision of this magnitude would release such a large quantity of dust and debris into the sky that it would be able to obstruct sunlight, bring about a phenomenon known as impact winter, disrupt food chains, and bring about a collapse of the biological system on a global scale. It is possible that it will not kill everyone instantly. However, the long-term impacts, which include widespread starvation, economic collapse, and crop failures on a worldwide scale, could lead to the ultimate destruction of human civilization. A winter with an impact could extend for several months or even years. The asteroid known as 1950 DA, which is predicted to be 1.3 kilometers in size, has been subjected to close observation because of the possibility that it will come near to Earth in the year 2880. Once every 500,000 to 1 million years, events of this magnitude take place, but the consequences of these events are undoubtedly felt all around the world. Level 8. Mass Extinction Event. Now we enter truly apocalyptic territory. These asteroids are 5 to 10 kilometers in size, large enough to trigger mass extinction events. The most well-known example is the Chicxulub impactor, an asteroid estimated to be 10 kilometers wide, which struck what is now the Yucatan Peninsula 66 million years ago. The impact released energy equivalent to 100 million megatons, triggered massive tsunamis, wildfires, and global climate disruption, and ultimately led to the extinction of 75% of all life on Earth, including the dinosaurs. Level 8 impacts are extremely rare, occurring every tens of millions of years. But if one happened again today, it would be an existential threat to humanity. Level 9. Planetary Reset Event. These are the rarest and most catastrophic of all impact levels. We're talking about objects larger than 10 kilometers, potentially up to 50 kilometers wide. The impact energy would be enough to sterilize vast regions of the Earth, possibly even render the planet temporarily uninhabitable. Oceans would boil near the impact site, the atmosphere could be stripped or poisoned, and the biosphere would collapse. Some scientists theorize that such impacts may have reset Earth's evolutionary clock in the distant past. Thankfully, these kinds of events are ultra rare, perhaps occurring once every hundreds of millions to a billion years. Still, they remind us that Earth is not immune to the forces of the cosmos. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown of asteroid impact levels, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more space-related content.